Okay, so imagine having a good time with your friends at a party or a bar, and then the fun stops because you get into an accident due to driving while intoxicated because you've had a few too many drinks. Driving while intoxicated can cause harm to yourself and anyone else that is involved in an impaired driving accident. It can even cause fatalities. My husband, for one, has been involved in many instances of arresting and pulling over people who have been driving while intoxicated. He works as a law enforcement officer for Whiteman Air Force Base, and he has actually been able to share a few of his stories, of course not everything with me. So what exactly can happen while driving while intoxicated, and what are the consequences? I'm going to go over statistics in driving while intoxicated, as well as consequences for DWI and methods that you can use to avoid getting a DWI. So now that we know that a DWI is bad, I'm going to go more into detail about the outcomes of what can happen and statistics. I'm going to start with statistics, starting with fatalities versus surviving rates, as well as other interesting numbers and important numbers associated with impaired driving. First of all, in 2009, the percentage of BAC levels, or blood alcohol content levels, for driving fatalities was 80.5%. And also in 2009, the percentage of BAC, again, blood alcohol content levels, for surviving drivers was 57.9%. The illegal drinking BAC level in all 50 states is 0.08, and as well as the minimum age for drinking alcohol is 21, also in all 50 states. There are a couple exceptions though. You can be 18 as a culinary student and handle alcohol, as well as be 18 in a restaurant setting and serving alcohol. Also, there are 14 million cases of abuse, alcohol abuse, and alcoholism, as well as 100,000 cases of people who die each year from alcohol-related diseases and accidents. So what are the consequences? Consequences, they're actually based on the number of offenses that you've had. There's multiple tests that you can also take when being tested for blood alcohol content. You can have a field sobriety test, a breathalyzer. You can even have chemical tests done. Chemical tests they can do on urine, blood, or salivary. You will also be arrested if you're under 21 or if a death occurs. That's also one of the very major consequences of a DWI. The first offense is characterized as a Class B misdemeanor. You will have no more than 6 months probation, as well as $500 fee and 90 days suspension, but you can get your driver's license back within 30 days with a 60-day temporary driver's license. A prior offender will have a Class A misdemeanor on their record. They will get no more than 1 year probation and a $1,000 fine and 1 year revocation of their license due to accumulative points on their driving record. A persistent offender is now a Class D felony. This is where we get into the felonies. No more than 4 years probation, as well as no more than 1 year in a county jail. Also, $5,000 fee and 5-year license revocation. An aggravated offender is a Class C felony. You can get no more than 7 years probation, 1 year jail sentence in your county jail, a $5,000 fee, and a 10-year license denial. So people who know the consequences and use different methods to avoid driving after a party or at an outing. So what are methods you can do to avoid getting behind the wheel after driving while having an alcoholic beverage? First one is having a designated driver. Just someone that has devoted their time to be there for you when you've had alcohol and they have not had any. Take your keys and just drive you home whenever you're done drinking. And then there's also responsible beverage services, which are intended to prevent sales to minors and over-service to highly intoxicated individuals, in turn which prevents the alcohol-impaired driving. So it's very important to have an advanced plan before going out for some drinks with your friends. So in conclusion, what I've pretty much summing it up is what exactly can happen while driving while intoxicated and what are the consequences. And as you can tell from the information that I've just shared, that it's best to avoid getting behind the wheel. It may not only save someone's life, but it may also save you a lot of hassle and money. So in other words, before you drink this, which is a Bud Select, and you decide to pick up these, you think about the consequences, because you could end up in these and causing this.